website called All About the Tea.
He told All About the Tea that during the fight,
Hey, teacups, it's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me today is teacup affiliate Amir. Yes, Amir, if you don't know, is he's the host of a very popular podcast, The Take On, right? And he's also a publicist and a TikTok sensation. I mean, but you still have the craft, right? I mean, you can pick it up at any time.
You're so sweet.
Mm-hmm. And TikTok extraordinaire. I mean, he's very famous on TikTok. If you don't know, you need to go follow him because he makes viral videos on there. Okay.
I try.
First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, go on and bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. Teacups. On the agenda this afternoon is Miss Kenya Moore. She's in big trouble with Native tribes, and LaToya Ali made some racist remarks that we're going to get into. Let's just go ahead and get started, dive right in. We're not going to waste any time. So Kenya Moore was slammed for cultural appropriation during Sunday's Halloween episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Lots of costumes from mermaid to an astronaut. That astronaut costume was horrible on Shamia, by the way. It's a mess. Like, girl, why would you choose? Just a mess. You're not you're not 9 years old. You're not in fourth grade.
It must have been such a nightmare to mic her with that big thing on her head. That was too much.
Probably. Do you think the network put Kenya in that costume?
Yes, they did.
Do you think so? As a publicist, she would know.
Yeah, they wanted to have that. Either they wanted to have the conversation or they wanted to be messy. I can't quite figure out, but maybe my heart's feeling very generous today. So I see maybe they wanted to have the conversation. I don't know. But they did that to Luann as well. So I don't know. I wonder if they're just messy. I don't know.
They're messy. And they probably wanted some ratings. The ratings have been in the toilet and they know they don't have much of a season. So anything, right? Because for the life of me, I can't imagine that production would co-sign that and didn't tell her to go change. So it was a setup in a sense. Okay.
Absolutely. And even the fight, I felt like very rushed and kind of felt like, okay, we're just going to like make this fight. Yeah. You know, desperate. It was a bit desperate.
Weird. And when you have people fighting that we don't know and care about, it's like, huh? Like it's stupid, you know, so it's just, oh goodness. So there were, like I said, there were tons of other costumes, but it was Kenya Moore's controversial outfit that sparked controversy. Bravo labeled Kenya's getup as Native American, but Kenya was rocking that fringed feathered headdress. And that's a problem. A Native American organization called Illumi Native, which is led by Native peoples, blasted Kenya Moore and Bravo for disrespecting their culture. The organization released the following statement, and I'll go ahead and read it. And I quote, "We are deeply disturbed by last night's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, in which Kenya Moore wore a Native American warrior princess costume. Costumes that mock Native peoples, defame our traditions and cultures, and perpetuate negative stereotypes are racist." They're upset. These people are mad. Okay.
They have so little. And it's like, you know, we've taken their land. We've pushed them into these reservations with high levels of alcoholism and suicide. And then we want them to be okay when white people wear it to Coachella. And I just think that Kenya is a beautiful woman of color on TV. She should know better. Like, there's just no excuse. Like, it's almost like I'd let it go if it was like, you know, I don't know, Chris Bassett, you know, if he wore a headdress, I'd be like, all right, well, you know, like more excusable. I feel like when a white person does it, she should just know better.
Well, is it? I mean, it's still wrong, right? At the end of the day,
of course. It's just more like not understandable, but it's just it checks out for the white brand, which is like, oh, I didn't know any better. You know, I've had so many friends at Coachella wear the headdresses up until even 2 years ago, and I'm like, sweetie, you can't wear that.
Yeah, they can play
Like,
stupid and get away with it. You're right,
yeah,
Amir. Yeah,
yeah.
good point. So playing Indian is a form of let me see here, is a form of mascatory that is
Oh.
not just offensive. It is part of a long history of how Native peoples have been dehumanized, to your point. Countless research studies show the harm these images, actions, and normalization of these behaviors have on our youth. We also know the dehumanization and sexualization of Native women uh, contributes to these crises of murder and missing Indigenous women.
Mhm.
Very true.
There was a
So
documentary about it. Like, women are just disappearing. Like, this woman disappeared going to
what?
college. Yeah, from the reservation, they just disappear, and it's like, and no one talks about it because it's kind of like, it's like, oh, people just don't discuss
Mhm.
it. It's sad.
Oh my God. I need to check
Mhm.
that out. That's so sad though.
Mhm.
It's like you said, they've gone through so much in our history. What
Absolutely.
why do this now? Why come and just spit on their, heritage and
Right.
do this? I mean, it's so rude and disrespectful. So I'll
Right.
continue. We are also incredibly concerned that none of the producers or executives at Bravo, Comcast, NBC Universal intervened. Although several cast members commented on how uncomfortable, unnecessary, and offensive the costume was on camera. So they did it on purpose, like we said. I mean, why would they not
Yeah. But they never
stop
said
this
it
mess?
to her. Like, I wish that,
Yeah.
like, at least Candy would have said, she's the only one that's really friends with her at this point. So you could have just been like, girl, like, at least take the headdress off. Like, you can wear the dress. Okay. We would have let
Mhm.
her have the dress. She could be Pocahontas. It's still like on the line of appropriation. But then you wear the headdress, which is for like a chief. It's kind of like the same as if you're an Indian, like from India, if you wear the bindi, it's like offensive. And a lot of people do that as well. A lot of like white yogis wear that on their forehead. That's not appropriate. Like, you wear that if you're married in Indian community. Like, it's very inappropriate. People just don't know sometimes either.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Like you said, the outfit would have been passable, still offensive,
Hmm.
but the
Hmm.
headdress is sacred and you don't do that. It's like a
Not okay.
big no-no, right?
Hmm.
So I'll continue on.
Well, but real quick, Monica, it's also like, I'm not trying to give Kenya an out. I don't really like vibe with Kenya, but I also think it's like, it's the costumers issues. It's Amazon selling it. Like, it's a bigger issue, right? It's like these companies need to stop selling these things. So people
You're
can't
right.
go and buy it because it was some dinky ass Amazon headdress she bought.
Mhm.
So, like,
Yeah.
it's a bigger issue. It's like kind of systemic. So that's something that we need to work on. But
I'm starting to feel that she didn't even buy it. I think the producers bought it and gave it to her, honestly. I
oh,
really do.
okay. I'm not
I
mad at that.
really
I mean, I don't know
do.
if you heard the rumblings, but apparently Bravo wants to do a show about South Boston. I'm like, do we really need another show about white people? Have
Oh,
we not learned
God.
anything from Southern Charm?
Well, if it's not going to be ghetto like Jersey Shore, I don't want to watch it because they can get
Hmm.
down in ghetto, really. No offense, Boston. No
But I feel like
offense.
Bravo is going to try to find like the rich Bostonians, and it's just going to be so like, why are we like Bravo? Like, it like moves like in 2 steps forward, like 20 steps back. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
really understand the network. And I mean, Andy keeps saying, I don't make any decisions, but I don't really believe that. I don't really
Oh,
believe.
that's a bunch of bullshit. He makes decisions. Come on. He may not be the head guy in charge there, but he definitely is a force. And if he wants someone to stay, they're staying. And if he
Mhm.
wants someone out, they're going. You know what?
Mhm.
Let me just stop right here and let's do the roll call really fast to welcome some of our teacups that are with us this afternoon.
Roll call, it's a roll call. Tune in and let us know what's up with y'all. We want to hear what you gotta say. Teacups, turn them up, what you sipping on today. Roll call, it's the roll call.
All right, Tracy, I see you, Miss B, Nushaka, Delcinia, Bernice. Hey, Miss Bernice, Thando, Katrina, Andrea, Lace, Simone Williams, Quasia. Hey, Quasia, I like that name. Darren Hood, Curls for the Culture. Okay. Dukes. Hey, Dukes. Shout out to Dukes, all the new members. all the moderators. Hey, by the way, Dukes, I meant to make you a moderator. I'm going to do that today, later on this afternoon. Angelo, Lexi, Kimberly, and Polk. Vivi, hey Vivi, Kate, Miss Alexander J, hey girl, Rashonda, Tanisha, Julia, Jazz, LSW, Janice, beautifully animated. Hey fam, hey girl, Simone, Kimberly. Welcome all the teacups and all the new members. We appreciate and we're glad you're here with us today. So I'm gonna continue reading this statement, right? I'll start here again. We are also incredibly concerned that none of the producers or executives at Bravo, Comcast, NBC Universal intervened, although several cast members commented on how uncomfortable, unnecessary, and offensive the costumes were. And they did, and I have those statements. The series has had several instances of racism and offensive behavior, and yet it seems no training, producers, or standards have been set to stop offensive acts which go against the values of Comcast professes to have. They are preaching, because Comcast, NBC Universal just pledged $100 million towards injustices, right?
Oh, they're BS. They're the same company that's been bullying me with my sound, saying that we own it and we can use anything we want on TikTok. They're using all of my trends and they're just bullying another, Persian brown creator on TikTok. That's their ammo.
Tis. I mean, they need a slap on the hand. Leave people of color alone, Bravo. What's wrong with you?
Well, don't donate and then hurt the people that are on TV. Like, I just don't understand. It's like, why? First of all, why are you using Kenya as an opportunity to have this discussion? Number one, if you wanted to have the discussion, you should have just had a scene where Kenya's like, "Can I wear this headdress?" And everyone's like, "Oh no, that's appropriation." That way, she wouldn't have been marked. I don't think it's fair that she's being marked as this she's not the only person on the show. Her friends could have stopped her. Her producer could have stopped her. The driver could have stopped her. There's so many people that reality stars go through that someone could have said, Kenya Moore, take that off, please.
I'm no fan of Kenya Moore, so I'm going to go ahead and blame her. She could have stopped herself. She could have said, when they brought the costume over and said, Kenya, you're wearing this. She could have said, no way, absolutely not. I refuse. Get me something else. She could have said that. She's a grown woman.
Absolutely could have said that. Okay, I don't want Nadine Reyes to go, but I want to come back to Nadine because she's from Trinidad. I just want to know just keep this in mind, Nadine, when we get to the topic, but what you thought about Fallon calling LaToya Trini. I felt like that was racial. So I want to get there. I want to know what you think.
We'll get there. We'll definitely get there. So the statement wrapped with, it is important that Bravo, Comcast, NBC Universal, Bravo Andy, and Kenya Moore apologize for the harm they have caused Native peoples and commit to ensuring offensive displays like this never happen again. Native people are not a costume. Boom, mic drop. So Bravo were quick. Okay, because this is a big organization and it's ran by the peoples. So the Native peoples, they were quick to issue an apology, right out the bat. Let me put that up on the screen. Do you want to read that, Amir?
Of course, Bravo aims to have the highest standards of respect and inclusivity. I can't even get through this without laughing. And we recognize that the recent episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, in which a cast member wears a Native American costume, did not uphold those values. We had hoped it would provide a teachable moment. However, in retrospect, it is clear that the network did not address this properly given the gravity of the situation. We apologize to both the Native American community and our audience as a whole. Oh, Monica, they do this, and they did it on Married to Medicine. They wore those Indian outfits. I know I love Contessa, but she wore that beautiful headdress.
She wore it wrong.
You wore it wrong, and it's inappropriate, and you just can't do it. When I was in India for a wedding, I wanted to wear the turban, and my friend was like, "No, sweetie,
you can't do it.
You're not Nick Jonas." It's the problem is these apologies are great, but when are we going to stop doing these things? I'm all for the apologies, but why do shows need to make fun of Native people, make fun of queer people, make fun of Black people, and then go, "We're so sorry, we didn't know any better." Your apologies are kind of getting old. Empty, right? I couldn't even get through it without laughing. It's like joke. So
they should have really just went balls to the wall and made it a Cowboys versus Indians theme.
If you're going to be racist, be like TLC, like fully lean in.
Yeah, exactly. All in. Balls to the wall.
I agree.
Cowboys versus Indians. Not an astronaut, not a
I
Medusa, that Medusa outfit.
I agree. Just like fully go in, and just be ridiculous. You didn't like the Medusa outfit?
Hated it.
I loved it. That makeup was amazing. That was the only person that actually tried. Well, aside from Candy, because Candy did prosthetics. I thought that was pretty fun.
Candy, even in costume, the child needs help. She's, oh goodness gracious,
it's so rough. It's a costume party. What are you expecting?
Gracious, I just don't like that show anymore. That show is just done. It's the end of the road for me with that show. And
someone's saying about Kelly Dodd. Didn't Kelly Dodd wear a headdress too? Probably.
Well, Kelly Dodd is
that shocking?
All around, just culturally inappropriate.
She's licking up on a racist from Fox News. So give me a break.
There you go. Licking up. Oh,
remember the scene? I almost lost my lunch, honey.
I didn't see it. You know what? I didn't watch that season. I just caught snippets of it. I can't deal with the husband's big nose. I was like, I can't get through this.
It was bad. It had its own zip code. Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Delcia, hey girl. She said, hey Monica. Okay. So that was Bravo's response. Initially, Kenya doubled down on wearing the costume. Sunday night, Black Twitter was coming after her, dragging
I love
her.
Black Twitter. Can I give Black Twitter a shout out?
Shout out to Black Twitter. We love you. Listen, so Sunday night she doubled down and she responded to a fan and said, I am part Native American. So, that gives me the right. Girl, your 1% on that DNA.com don't mean no, ma'am. No,
Monica, you're too much. I was actually DMing with Monique Samuels, and she's actually, I don't know which tribe, but she said she's a good amount Native American, and she's like, I wouldn't wear it either.
Honey, you're Black. You just know not to cross that line. If you're not 75% Native American, don't try it. Okay. Exactly. And I don't even believe Kenya is even 1% or 5%. She's just higher.
Well, also, Monica, when Native Americans, they wear it to like their ceremonies. It's like wearing your Sunday best every day. It doesn't really make sense. Like you wear that when you're doing like a festival or like practice. Like it would be odd to wear that to like a costume part. Like it makes zero sense. So like it doesn't, even if you were Native American, you wouldn't be wearing that to a costume party. You'd be dressed as, I don't know, Orphan Annie or something. I don't know. What's a costume? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Aren't Egyptians Black though? I think Egyptians are
Egyptians are North African. They're North African, but they're considered more Middle Eastern because of their culture. They're not really considered Black, but yeah, they are. I mean, Jesus was definitely not white. Jesus was a very brown, almost Black man.
The woolly hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she doubled down, but she quickly deleted that tweet when she just got
Why do they do that, Monica? Why? This is the thing. I always tell my clients, I was like, never delete a tweet because someone's going to screenshot it. If you have a blue check mark on your name, if you're a celebrity, like there's always someone screenshotting. So when celebrities delete it and think, oh, the problem's fixed, it almost looks worse because it was bad and you don't want to address it anymore. Like it's very odd.
Exactly. It makes yourself, you're guilty. Basically, you're guilty. T. Ness, thank you so much for the super chat. Sending positive vibes and love to the panel today. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let me pull up Kenya's. So today, fast forward 24 hours later, after Bravo issued their apology, we were wrong, their PR statement, Kenya Moore issued this statement. Clearly she was forced. Do you want to read that, Amir?
Oh, yes. I want to sincerely apologize for inappropriately wearing the Native American headdress as a costume. I now realize that this was both disrespectful and insensitive. Oh, I hate these apologies. And would never have done it if I had the knowledge and understanding beforehand. But I thought you were Native American. What happened to that? Okay. I regret it. When you know better, you do better. I am genuinely sorry. These apologies, like these celebrity apologies, I'm so done with. I mean, again, her makeup looks beat. Let's give her that. But the rest of it is a mess. For me, I'm done with these apologies. Like there's the whole Kylie Jenner thing and her makeup artist and the bills. She did this whole fake apology. Don't say anything. If you want to be insincere, I always tell my clients this. Don't say anything. If you want to be insincere, people can see through insincerity very quickly. So that just to me felt like an empty apology. It only came on the heels of Bravo apologizing. And Andy Cohen called her personal cell phone and said, hello, if you ever want to be on that TV, honey, and make your bills, pay your alimony for Mark, you better act accordingly. So we know
Mhm.
that's why she apologized. And that's what kind of bums me out. I don't like fake
Mhm.
apologies.
And you know what? She does have money. Of course, that's like $60 for her and she could pay it. But people don't know how she really feels about that makeup artist. Maybe what if she doesn't even really like the person? But you never know what interpersonal relationships people have. And just because you have money, you shouldn't feel obligated to do something you don't want to do. Do it from the
Not
heart.
at all. Exactly. Do it from
Yeah.
the heart. If you want to do it, do it. And there's this idea, like my dad is really well off and people literally come up to him like, give me money. And it's like, just
Mhm.
because someone has money, they made it. Like
Right.
whether it was given to them, whether they made it, it's their money. So their name's on the bank account. So there's idea with rich people. It's like, well, why don't you do more charity? I had a lot of clients, A-list clients, people would send us emails. Can they donate to more charity? This is ridiculous. They made this much. I'm like, maybe they do in their own way. Like you don't know how they're giving back. So I just, that conversation, it always
Yeah.
irritates me. Yeah.
And you don't know how she feels about that makeup artist. He could be
Mhm.
secretly shady, talking about her behind her back, but she
Exactly.
never says anything. I'm sometimes caught in that bind sometimes where people expect like the world from you and you really don't even know how I feel about you. Like I know you're shady or you've been saying this or been saying that behind my back. Just because I don't say anything doesn't mean I don't know. And I'm grown enough and have enough restraint where I can still be a friend to you. I can still love you,
Right. Right.
So
That's grown folk stuff. That's like being a grown folk.
Absolutely. Because you can't jump and get mad and pissed off at every little thing your friends do or say. Otherwise, you're not going to have any friends.
That's true. Well, and no one's perfect. It's about coming correct. I just didn't feel like she came correct. She kind of came in and was like, well, I wore the headdress. Like, I'm sorry. But then said, I'm Native American. It's like, I just, that analogy is just not good.
No, exactly, Matt. She's 50 years old. Surely she's heard of cultural appropriation by now. She has.
Of course she has. I mean, there's also a double standard that I think that is important to mention is that many Black people, like if anyone appropriates, they're very quick to speak up and speak up against it. But it seems like when other cultures are appropriated, especially Asian culture, Native American, it's like no one really seems to care or speak up. And I think that's unfair because this happens a lot with Middle Eastern culture as well. People will like exoticize Middle Eastern culture, like they'll wear a headscarf. Like they'll dress as a hijabi for Halloween. I'm like, that's inappropriate. That's someone's religious identity. Like you can't wear a hijab and then drink alcohol and have sex. Like it's really inappropriate.
Thank you for saying that.
That's why I just want to say that. Again, I'm not taking away, never appropriate Black culture. I'm just saying it just seems like that's the only one we're getting upset about. So I think this is a great conversation because it's like, okay, this beautiful Black woman did it, and then we can have the conversation and it's like very appropriate. So I think it's a great time to have this conversation.
Absolutely. And you're Muslim, so you are qualified to speak on that. Mina Hill, thank you so much for the super chat. Candy actually defended Kenya. She did. I'll read her statement. Will she also apologize? Candy is just uneducated country bumpkin, in my opinion. It's one of the reasons why I can't, I'm not. No,
we know where her mom stands. I mean, her mom's a wackadoo, so it's not that surprising.
Yeah. So all the ladies in their talking heads said something about it. They felt it was uncomfortable, it was inappropriate, except for Candy. Candy defended her. So this is what Candy said, and I quote, "I didn't think anything of it." Of course not, Candy. There's nothing in between. There's nothing in between there. "If anything, I think to be an Indian princess, she thinks that's a beautiful thing. I don't think she was wearing the costume to mock anyone. I think she thought it was a beautiful costume, a sign of a leader, someone to look up to, not to be made fun of. I don't think she was doing it as a joke to be mean." Candy, go read a book. Oh,
Candy,
you're 45, 43, and you don't know what cultural appropriation is? Are you serious, Candy?
There's no intention of like hurting someone. It's like this idea that people think when you appropriate, you're like, I hate Black people, so I'm gonna wear a braid, or I'm gonna, it's not like that. It's like people, they need to be more educated. People always go, well, they don't have any malice intent. Well, educate yourself. It's not everyone that wears or appropriates is like a white supremacist. I'm over this idea that like, oh, why are you like crucifying her online? It's not about that. It's about the fact that she's taking no ownership. When you're a public persona, then don't be one. There's been like, for example, this is a great example. I made a comment on an Asian video, like against Asian hate. This older woman had beat up this white guy, and I wrote "good for her!" exclamation. I meant like I was supporting the Asian woman. People mistook that for me saying "good for him." like for beating her up. And I had to quickly address it, and I had to delete it, and I had to like quickly address it. Even though I'm not really like as famous as Kenya Moore, I had to still address it because people were getting very upset with me. So you have to take ownership when you need to take ownership, instead of being like, well, I have Asian friends. I've dated an Asian man. I love Asian people. I didn't do that. I was like, I'm sorry it was misunderstood, and we need to just move on. Like,
absolutely.
Address things. She's not addressing things, and I don't know, it just bothers me. Kenya Moore should know better.
Absolutely. She's too grown and too old. Give me a break. She knows better. Lexi, when I hear the name Lexi, I think of sexy Lexi, and you are beautiful. She's beautiful. Thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody thinks they have some Indian in them. Cancel that bitch. Yeah. Exactly. Cancel that bitch.
Yes, she said that. I mean, it's true. I mean, everyone likes to say that. And it's like, and again, the whole Indian Native American thing is also another complicated thing, right? Like Christopher Columbus came to here, thought it was India, called them Indians. Like even that, the fact that there's so many people that still don't say Native American, it's like, that's another thing. Like, and it's, again, I'm not criticizing sexy Lexi, but it's just, again, these conversations, like someone mentioned that it's not like Black people speak up for their own appropriation, and every culture should, but some cultures, like look at the Asian community, they don't know how to speak up. That's not in their community. Like they don't speak up. Muslim people speak up. They're considered aggressive and a terrorist. So they don't know how to speak up. So sometimes allies, like whether you're white, Black, whatever, speak up for people that are like not able to speak up. It's hard to expect like Native Americans who have no opportunity, they have high rates of alcoholism, to all of a sudden speak up on a costume on Bravo. Like that's hard for them. So like if you can, tweet about it, like make a ruckus, you know, like that's the least we can do.
Absolutely. And like you said, the Asian community are a lot of times they don't speak up for themselves, but let me tell you something, they can kick some behind. Did you see that old lady? That big white boy?
That was the video I commented on.
Yes,
up, honey.
He was twitching on the stretcher, like, you know what hit him? She lost it. She blacked out on him. Sharon says, y'all need to get tore your heads out of the damn clouds. I'm not Black, I'm Indigenous, and I was here. I didn't come over here. Right, absolutely. Shaking my damn head. Read, family, read. Absolutely. No, this is your land. We all need green cards to be here. Every single person. This was your land, and they came and stole it, lied, poisoned you, just ruined your culture.
Absolutely.
And left you with a legacy crippled in dependency.
Well, and they did it, and then repackaged it. You know, Monica, it's like, it's almost like doing something horrible and then repackage it. Like I remember when I was in school, I live in Orange County near the Mission San Juan, and we did a whole presentation about it. I was reading about how that mission literally like forced people to become Christian. It was like raping and pillaging the area. Like, and we made these beautiful like mission projects, and we're like, it's so beautiful. Like literally repackaged like trauma as like a school project.
But isn't that what America does, though?
Yes, they do.
You know, isn't that their MO? Isn't that what they do?
Yes.
All over the country, all over the world. Yes. Ann Houghton, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. We appreciate the love.
We love Ann.
We do. Leila Quinones, thank you so much for the super chat. It's a sign of honor, usually worn by warriors or chiefs, depending on the particular native tribe. Absolutely.
Amen. And also learn. I used to wear kimonos a lot, Monica. I love them. And I did like an e-dating show, and I wore a kimono, and it's like literally the bane of my existence, because that again is cultural appropriation as well. You're wearing a samurai's outfit. Like you have to. And when someone told me that, I was like, no, I love kimonos. And I kind of like fought it. But I'm also realizing like when someone tells you of that culture, it's inappropriate, just listen.
Absolutely. Ms. OMG, absolutely. We're human trafficked here. Absolutely. We really were. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So let's also tackle, because I know you got to get out of here, Amir.
It's okay. I have more time now. I have 10 more minutes. So
awesome. Let's also address, in that episode, Fallon was heard calling Toya Trini. Now, Trini is short for Trinidadian. A lot of Trinidadians refer to each other as Trini. Okay, that's common.
Okay. Was she saying it nicely, though? A lot of people said, I understand that it's not a race now, but I also feel like she wasn't saying it kindly.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're arguing with someone and you start yelling out American, or you You African.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not going to be taken as if say, hey, African.
Hey, Trini.
Hey, Trini. Right. Which a lot of Trinidadians and other people normally refer to Trinidadians. It's like a term of endearment. Hey, Trini, Trini.
Okay.
But it wasn't meant in a good way. But I've never heard someone use the word Trini it was kind of weird. Okay. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. These people are weird. These new people.
Well, she hasn't been on it long enough for us to either defend her or like hate her. You know what I mean? And we also didn't hear, I guess, the racist thing that Toya said, because I guess they cut that, which I don't really understand why they cut that. Were they just trying to be appropriate?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm. Don't cry, honey. Listen, whenever I get into arguments with white people and stuff, and it has to do with this country, I'm like, where's your green card? I always say that. Just ask, where's your green card? Okay. And they quickly back off because this is not your land. You stole it like everything else. So she called her Trini in the midst of that argument. I'm assuming she meant it in a derogatory way. Yeah. Fallon later explained that she called Toya Trini because Toya called her Ching Chong. Let me pull that up to show you here.
Is that because she's Taiwanese?
Yes, her mother's from Thailand and her father is from Cape Verde, which is a beautiful mix.
She's beautiful. Yeah, she is beautiful.
A beautiful mix. Cape Verde people are just beautiful. They're African and Portugal mix, culturally wise.
Who tweeted this?
So someone made this comment on some social media platform and Fallon responded and said, because she called me Ching Chong.
Oh, okay.
So she was responding, I guess in that moment, that's all she can think of was you're Trini, but Trini's not, it's not a really good,
I guess it's not
a good
great,
read. It's not a good read.
Not the best read. She could have called her a hoe.
Yeah, that's what she should have called. Gold digging hoe, a cheater, a skank.
And it's funny, like I feel like, again, Drew made the point and I loved it, is that Toya has this like chip on her shoulder about married people. Like she's almost like annoyed, or like maybe she's going through a divorce and she's upset. And when she drinks, she like gets really combative, but she came for Drew's husband. She criticizes Mark. She criticizes this guy. Like you're at her woman's home. Like she invited you, even though you were rude to her last time. Like if I was Fallon, I wouldn't even invite Toya.
Right. Like she doesn't need to be invited anywhere. She has no home training, clearly.
No home training. And Kenya loves it because it takes the light off of Kenya. Like Kenya looks good compared to the crazy. Like, that one friend in your group that's like the most drunk, even if you get kind of buzzed, you're like, well, I'm not that bad. So I feel like Toya's like that friend where you're like, okay, she's such a mess that Kenya looks normal.
EHC Bunny, she is Trinidadian, so she's Trini. That's not an alter ego. That's part of her culture. That's who she is. The way she speaks, the way she thinks, her mannerisms.
I like her. I don't know. I like Fallon. I mean, I know that her husband doesn't want her to be on the show. I kind of like her. I don't know. I feel like she's kind of like normal, and I get that like the show's boring and we need more oomph, but I don't like mean. I think LaToya, there's a difference between being shady like Teresa is, and then being just downright mean. I think LaToya is just mean, and there's no fun shade. There's no reads. It's just like, you're stupid, or you're fat, or your hair is ugly. It's like, it's just below the belt. I don't know. It's just not fun to watch anymore.
Right. House of Princess. Hey, my love. Hey, sis. Thank you so much for the super chat. Allegedly, LaToya called Fallon Ching Chong first, and she retaliated with Trini. That's what we just
why
said.
Did the producers like, I mean, not they had to address that, but like, I wish they would have said something like, okay, we couldn't show this because it's a derogatory racial term. Like maybe something so we knew the context, because then Fallon just looked insane.
Kinda. I mean, honestly though, excuse me, Trini is not an insult, but I guess in the heat of that context of that argument, I can see why people would take it that way. That was a lazy ass read.
That was lazy. But what I'm saying, Monica, is that's why she grabbed the golf club. I think like if we knew the racial thing, that makes more sense, right? Because like, why would you grab a golf club over like her saying your husband? I don't know. I felt like the reason she grabbed that golf club was because of the racial thing. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but
it could be. That probably really pissed her off, and she's probably been dealing with that her whole life. She's
probably been dealing that with her whole life. And I know, again, the Black community, I'm not part of it, but I have a lot of friends who are, and every community has racism within their community. So like Persians don't like Afghans, and there's all these different communities within communities. So I know that it probably wasn't easy for her. People were like, oh, you have slanted eyes and you're not Black. And, I'm sure she got that. Like, I'm sure, because I know Karuchi got that. She's talked about it before. So.
And not only you're not Black, but you're not African American. So that's another layer to unpack there. You are from another country, you are a foreigner, Black woman, and then you are mixed with Asian. There's a lot of layers and complexity to that situation. So she's gorgeous, right? She is drop dead gorgeous.
I want to see the kids. Are the kids cute? I feel like
I want to see the kids. I want to hear from the husbands. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling these new girls, to be honest with you. Matt,
don't bring girls that can't film. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm over the Fallons and the Suttons and the like. I'm sorry, if you can't film your kids, just don't be on the show anymore.
Absolutely. Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Drew said it best. LaToya, never, ever, ever, bitch. Yes.
I'm liking Drew's confessionals when it involves Toya. They're pretty good reads. I'm not mad at it.
I like when she gets mad and the Chicago comes out and she starts
I like
to
that
talk.
Chicago side.
She's like, look, the way she starts to talk and LaToya never ever. It's like slows down and she enunciates like, each vowel. I love it. Beautifully animated. Thank you so much for the super chat. LaToya definitely makes Kenya look like an angel. Toya was ridiculously annoying. She's a child in an adult body. I don't need her to return.
She was a mess. But I like the dance, though. I want to recreate the dance. I liked the dance, honey. And was she going to drive home that drunk, or did she have a driver? Because she was in the driver's seat. I was like, that girl better not be driving home.
I think she was driving. I think she was. That's scary. Yeah. Jana, I hope I pronounced your name right, but you can let me know. I love you all. We love you too. How nice. The teacups are awesome.
They're the best. Monica, I have a question. Okay, there was something that like someone mentioned the aunts and the nieces. I got confused about this scene where they were like, the nieces went out for a drink after the wedding. What, or like after the bachelorette party? What was that about? Did you hear that conversation? I was confused. They went to
I guess they just went to have a drink and hang out, I guess.
But
the nieces,
something like came up, like there was some kind of tea dropped, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
That's how stupid and how poorly produced this show is. Some sort of, it was a hot mic moment. I don't know what was said. I'm not really paying that close attention. I want this show to be over with. It's come to the end of the road for me with these Housewives franchise.
I agree.
It's just too much. I'm going to add the world's greatest entertainer. Hey, my love, how are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
Doing well.
Hi.
So, well, Sunday's episode was very, it was, okay, the last part was very interesting. We're going to leave with that. But when Drew was talking with Ralph about the issue with, like she said, his dad been in jail and things like that, which is nice that the father actually wants to get back in the child's life. However, because I don't live with neither of my parents, my birth mom's in Atlanta, my birth dad is here. I just didn't feel like she should have it kind of felt like she was pressuring the child a little bit to kind of forge a relationship with his father. I just felt like she kind of, she could have brought the situation up. She just needed to think about it in a very way, because he's young. He already considered Ralph to be his daddy. She really should have just thought that part through. And with this whole Native American situation, I'm just going to say this. Candy really needs to stop defending Kenyon like that, because I feel like Candy is defending Kenya more than Cynthia is. And that's what I find really, really strange, because every time Kenya does something wrong, Candy always hurry up and like try to take the back for her, which I just don't think that that's right. You need to stop trying to defend this girl when she's done wrong, whether it's on camera, off camera. You need to really stop defending this girl. Like Candy, I feel like Candy defends people more than her actual business. She actually defended her friends more than she defended her own husband towards her mother, which is odd, because that's your spouse. They're just your friends, honey. You're supposed to defend your spouses more than you actually supposed to defend your friends. But that Halloween party, girl, I understand we in COVID. I understand all this can't have a certain number of people in your house. But she could have had some little made up some games. They could have done some karaoke. She could have had a person who asked one of them if they know how to make drinks or cocktails. Just try to figure out what to do just to keep the party flowing. But I like Portia's little Party City outfit. Cause honey, she was right. That did look cheap. And Candy's in the confession like,
But her boobs look good. Didn't her boobs look good? I liked her tatas were sitting up nice. And I love when her and Toya had a little moment. I liked that.
Yeah, I'm like, honey, she had them all perky. I'm like, ooh, child, let me go try to get mine be perky. Like, she just had her looking good up in there, child. But the situation when King was talking to LaToya about the situation at the niece's party. Now, look, I understand that she's mad at her for telling her business, but one thing I did not like is when she reflected about what happened back at the bachelorette party. I'm like, girl, wait. You over here talking, you mad at this child for what she said about your business, or are you mad because she actually was with Portia? Like which one we bad about? It's like they both in a relationship. It's like a DL relationship where they just like, girl, I'm so mad that you talked to her about that. Why? And another thing, I don't like it when people try to use nationality to try to get out of conflict. Because when she told Kenya, I'm training you either deal with me or don't deal with me, I'm like, girl, what does your nationality have to do with this situation?
It's an excuse.
I'm like, this is a poor excuse. Don't do that. You go out for your personality. Like, this is how my personality is, and you can either take me or leave me. I'll be like, okay, I'll just leave you. At least it's your personality. But don't try to hide behind a nationality to try to justify your behavior. Like, see, I don't know. No.
Do you think they hooked up? What do you think? I want to know what your opinion. Do you think they hooked up? I mean, why would you have that kind of define the relationship conversation if you haven't had sex?
Yeah, they hooked up. Of course they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they're sleeping together. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talking about Kenya and LaToya.
Yeah, they're scissor sisters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something happened because I'm like, girl, why y'all over here acting like y'all love us? Y'all just over here to give me all that lover vibe. You just over here getting mad at her because she over there with your enemy. I'm like, girl, you built up. You might need to tell her, go down there and take care of that. But and then when look, people need to understand when you at somebody's house, whether they rented it or they bought it or whatever, some comments you just need to keep to yourself. Because if I was filing, I would have beat LaToya ass right there on that pavement. Because you came in her house disrespecting her husband. And I was like, girl, that ain't even cool. And then LaToya's own husband still dragging her. I don't know if he's still dragging her or not, but he was out here dragging her in the street. So she really needs to keep, like, she loves talking about people's husbands. Like, what is up with her?
I don't know, child. But listen, thank you for calling in. You're always a key. And I love the lights in the back. The lights they do it for me every single time. And I can see you added some more photos to the background. I like it. Very nice.
Well, one day I'll probably turn the lights on when I come on the line.
Please do. We want to see your lovely
I want to see the lights. It's going to look better than it freaking Fallon's house with those string up lights. I love it.
Bye, boo. Bye. Shout out to Heidi Black in the chat. That's my sister. Hey, Heidi.
Hi,
Heidi. All right. We're going to bring on Miss Bernice before we get out of here. Black girl, I'm sorry I didn't get to you today. But also as a reminder, if you're going to call in, please turn your cameras on. I'm the only person allowed not to have my camera on.
Hey.
Hey.
I love you. I miss you.
I miss you too.
Oh, Miss Bernice.
Hey, Monica, how you doing,
Hey,
baby?
hey, sweetheart. How are you?
Hey, um, I'm Team Twirl, but Kenya was wrong with the headdress because even growing up in Michigan, we have Indian tribes here, and I have been to many a powwow. The woman wouldn't wear the headdress the men wear.
Oh.
Okay, and they only wear it doing like Amir said, doing ceremonies. Like when they had a powwow, they would have it downtown. We could participate, but we have to ask their permission. We couldn't come out and just touch them. No, you wouldn't do that. I would ask him, like, what's the meaning behind it? You wouldn't just come out and like a hug them, like, no, no, no. This is my sacred uniform. You can't touch it. So for
Mm.
for for Kenya to wear that headdress, she was being disrespectful to the Native American culture because women wouldn't wear the headdress. The chief would wear the headdress, that type of headdress. The women would have a different type of on their head, but it wouldn't be a headdress like that. Um, the other women, I don't need to talk about them. I just okay, woosah. For 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 LaToya to come in there, you Medusa, okay. The makeup was on point, yes, but you acted a dang fool in somebody else's house. You're not making brownie points for yourself. You're making people look like, okay, I see why people talk about you. You're proving them right. So you trying too hard to get that peach, boo. You still a neophyte. You trying too hard. You're doing too much. You may not get asked back next season. Come on now. You're doing too much. Um, but other than that, it was okay. Woosah. But Kenya was wrong. I'll be glad when the season over. Like, okay, I just watch it so I can be on point with y'all. But I haven't been really
Oh.
watching this season because I knew it wasn't gonna be about nothing.
So boring.
Yeah, because
It is.
yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, the hairdress she was wrong, and people in in the chat kept talking about him. Like they said, well, for Bravo to come out with this statement, you didn't come out with this statement when Luann had on the black dress, on the black makeup, me and Diana Ross.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's
You didn't.
right.
That was
You didn't.
wrong. That was
You didn't
wrong.
come out with that because when she walked in, and I'm saying, okay, she said I'm Diana Ross, but you didn't have to. She said, but Diana Ross is black. Boo, we knew you was Diana Ross. You didn't have to put the makeup on to make it look like you was black. No,
First of all, Diana Ross has never had a wig that looked like Mrs. Frankenstein. What was that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Her hair came out. It didn't go up. She looked
Exaggerated and disrespectful.
It was
exactly.
stupid.
So
Mocking.
you was doing a caricature of
Right.
Diana Ross.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Right.
so
That
that
was
wasn't
not right. That
no,
was
that
not
was
right.
not right.
But Bernice, speaking of Luann, did you see the trailer for Roni? What are your thoughts? Did you see the trailer for the new New York Housewives? It looks good.
Yeah, I like it. I liked it really. And then Miss
I
Bethany
like
gonna come out.
Ebony.
Yes, and then Miss Bethany gonna come
Mhm.
out with her announcement like, "Boo, you're not important
What did she
anymore.
say? What did she say? She always has something to say.
She's engaged now."
Ooh, Ebony K.
Oh.
Williams.
No,
Yeah,
she's saying Beth, who's
yeah,
engaged? Bethany came out with the statement.
yes, because they announced the Housewives trailer at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany came out with hers at 10:13.
And what did she
Oh,
say? What did she say?
Saying
She's
that
engaged?
they showed her looking at wedding dresses and she's engaged and she's looking
oh,
forward to this new adventure in her life.
Poor
oh
thing.
God. Her divorce
Poor
was just
thing.
finalized today or
Yes.
Oh,
yesterday.
was it? Okay, good.
Mhm.
Finally, after like 8
Yeah.
years, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
So
insane.
well,
Hmm.
yeah. But she's
Girl.
trying to get attention, being like a little baby, like, ooh,
Always.
they can't be talking about me like that. Like, girl, please. Okay.
No one cares, Bethany.
No,
No one cares.
exactly. No one cares. No one
Crawl
cares.
back into your Roach Motel. I mean, it's really
Yes.
not a Roach Motel, but anything on the Lower East Side, baby, you got to go uptown. That's where the real
Right.
money's at. She's always
Right.
Oh
going
my
downtown. It's so
God.
dirty down there. Oh,
Mm.
mhm.
But I'm looking forward to New York. It's gonna be great. Like, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah.
tatas. It was all tatas. Oh my
Yes, it
God.
was. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Like,
Yep.
okay.
I'm watching for my girl, Bershawn. I really like her.
Oh, I like
I
Purselle.
really like Bershawn. I can't wait. I'm only going to watch because of her. So
I like
Yes.
Ebony
We'll
too.
see.
Of course, I was
Yeah,
DMing with
Ebony's
Ebony. We love
Oh,
Ebony.
of course.
Oh,
What did you
okay,
say?
okay.
Who am I not DMing with?
Exactly. Amir's DMs are lit. Okay, that's where the party, the magic happens. Okay,
Right.
In his DMs.
Yep.
Thank you for calling in, Miss Bernice. You have a beautiful
Okay.
day.
You
We
too.
love
Bye
you,
bye.
Bernice.
Love you
Enjoy
too. Bye
spring.
bye.
You too. The weather has been so nice.
I know it's gorgeous outside.
It is. Shout out to my girl Marcella in the chat. You know, we love some Marcella. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, they had a munch lunch. Marcella.
Y'all are so messy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
18 miss them. Thank you so much for the super chat. I hardly get to catch the live because of work, but I caught this one just in time to drop some love. Hugs and kisses to you, my love. She's beautiful. Look at that skin.
Is gorgeous. It's like
gorgeous. So Debonair, this is my son in my head. He's my son. I love him. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat, my love. Hey, Monica and Amir, just showing love. Aw, hearts, hugs, and kisses to you. I love him so much. All right. We're going to wrap things up, Amir. We're going to wrap things up. This was great.
Let's do it.
All right. Amir, tell the folks where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on so first of all, the Take On my podcast is on all podcast stuff, Apple, Spotify, etc. And then you can find me at Amir Yas Official on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm also on Clubhouse if you guys are into that. So I'm actually hosting a room today talking about appropriation with Married to Medicine, and Contessa might stop by. So come check that out. It's in the Club Bravo room. Yeah, me and Monica are going to figure out Clubhouse, and we're going to try to bring you guys some fun stuff because it's kind of different and cool.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm getting involved. Amir's going to school me to the Clubhouse.
I got you, girl.
Hopefully I'll be spilling tea.
I haven't slept for like 4 days.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I heard it's very addictive where you're just on there listening to conversations all night. It's like a chat room again. Chat room.
You know why it's cool, Monica? Because you don't know who's going to drop in. Like I was in a room and Snoop Dogg came, Paris Hilton came, like Diplo was there, and you can chat with them directly.
Oh,
kind of cool.
Okay,
yeah,
that is
cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, you never know who's gonna pop up. Like, I was in a room and Tamra was there, and she was spilling some tea, honey. She felt safe without the video because she said the Bravo producers tricked her. They used the footage. I mean, she was like they wouldn't let Eddie go to work. Like she said, literally, like yeah. She spilled a lot of tea. It's crazy.
Yeah, not Bico. Bico is a ghetto slot machine. No, not that. Clubhouse. There's an app called Bigo. You've never heard it? Don't even go over there, Amir.
Oh,
it is.
I never heard of that.
It's like a ghetto slot machine in an app. It's weird. It's like MySpace meets slot machine. It's very odd, but trashy. You don't want any parts of.
Why am I getting convinced?
You don't want no.
I love trashy.
Stay away. Hey, Abby Cortez. She's so sweet. I see you.
Oh, someone's asking, where is this? Oh, Shady. Okay, so it's an app called Clubhouse. You need to get like an invite. So just if you ask any of your friends that are on there, you can request an invite from them, and then you just have to like sign up. And it's literally like, the best way to explain it is like a podcast room, but it's live and you can interact with people directly. And it's kind of set up like a house. There's like club rooms, and then there's hallways. There's like private chats. And then you can like go into these different topic rooms. A lot of it's like business centric and like NFTs, but there's a lot of Bravo ones and like pop culture ones as well. So it's kind of cool. It's like set up like a house. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I'm on there. I don't know how to work it. Amir's gonna help me out. Hopefully I'll be over there spilling some tea.
I got you.
I appreciate you. Love you, Amir.
And it's perfect for you, Monica, because no face, no video.
That's right up my alley, child. Listen, okay. All right, y'all. You can find me here. Subscribe to the channel. I'm also at the blog, allaboutthetea.com, as well as Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Go ahead and follow me on Facebook. I'm All About the Tea Official on Facebook, but All About the Tea on Instagram. And again, subscribe to the channel. And if you're subscribed, go ahead and bang that notification bell. I don't want y'all missing out on any of the tea we spill here. It's hot. It's piping hot.
Yes,
it's
honey.
not that stale tea that
It's like that. It's that British tea, honey. It's strong.
Absolutely. We keep
tea.
the kettle brewing all day long. Okay, like they do in England.
You are too much.
Teacups. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon.
Thank you, y'all. And I saw a lot of comments about the invite for Clubhouse. If you DM me on Instagram, I have 6 invites, so I can send those out to y'all. So
awesome. Go ahead and DM Amira.
Love
okay,
my
cool.
teacups.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Amir. Teacups, I love you guys. Mods, thank you for holding down the chat as usual. Everyone that sent in a super chat or a cash app, thank you so much for helping me keep the lights on. I want y'all to stay safe, be blessed, and we'll be back here tonight, this evening, with the nightly crew at 8 p.m. Eastern, spilling more piping hot tea on Toya and her financial issues.
Yeah, that YouTube money ain't gonna last forever, girl.
Toya Bush Harris from Married to Medicine. Yeah.
You're dropping her. Oh, I thought you were talking about LaToya. Okay, got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please.
I have some tea about Toya. So I saw her in West Hollywood, and she had those titties on a silver platter. She was with the girls. She was drinking. She had her gaze out. I mean, she was dancing in that restaurant, honey. I mean, it was a lot. And I was like, is that Toya? Yeah. And Simone was there too. No. Toya Barris and Simone. They were rubbing up against each other, dancing on each other, and honey, it was a lot.
Toya Bush Harris and Simone. What? Oh, okay.
I think it wasn't anything sexual. It was more like drunken fun. But they had their gaze out, and honey, these titties were like at her chin. It didn't look like the husband was anywhere to be found. So.
Ooh, we got to talk, Amir. We need to talk. All right, y'all. I love this.
And I saw the comment. Monica's working on it, y'all. Monica's a busy person. Some people are saying, get on that Clubhouse now. Monica has a full-time life, y'all. So we'll get on.
Block user. Just block that troll. Okay. All right, y'all. So we'll see you back here this evening. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love you guys. Bye everyone. Bye, Amir. Bye.